Good morning, everyone. It is May 13th, 2019. I'm Eric, still. So, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about Mexicans. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I live in a highly populated Mexican area. And the thing is, white people, we really don't have a problem with other cultures, all right? Our problem lies within the lack of respect in other cultures. And rightfully so. If we're respectful enough to not have our dogs outside barking at all hours of the morning and nights, waking everyone in the fucking neighborhood up, if we're respectful enough not to have our music blaring at all hours of the night, we kind of expect the same treatment out of you, the immigrant, the Mexican. It may be part of your culture to behave in that way, but it's not part of ours. And this is where the races really have problems meshing together. That's why one of the things about white privilege is they say it's time. We, as people, most of us want to be on time for things. And we recognize that some things are not supposed to be done after certain times. Like after 10 o'clock, for example, you shouldn't be blaring your music outside when you live in close quarters with other people. And it is this very lack of respect that makes people want to have things like walls. I'm not an advocate for a wall. I'm not. I don't see that it would do any good. Especially when it comes to the movement of drugs and other things across our borders. So, if you want to be accepted into the society that you're wanting to be part of, one of the things that you should really consider is your time and how noisy you are at certain times. 4 o'clock, 4:30 this morning, I have to get out of bed. I get woke up by my neighbor's barking dogs. And he's got a lot of fucking dogs, like 6 of them. And I go over there, and I don't go on his property. I yell from the street, "Hey, man." And he comes outside, and he's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "You're fucking barking dogs. It's 4:30 in the morning. Who the fuck wants to be woke up like that at this time in the morning?" And he kind of got a little hostile about it. Of course, that's what guns are for, right? But he said, yeah, and he shut his fucking dogs up. But by then it was too late. It's too late for me to go back to sleep. And this is a continuous problem where I live. If it's not their barking dogs, it's their loud-ass music, or their car alarm, or their loud-ass music, and whatever. So, why would we want anybody in our country who lacks that much respect? I mean, we already have a group of people here who's even more disrespectful towards Caucasians than Mexicans. Why do we want a second group of people who, and by the way, Mexicans are the least likely to believe in white privilege, okay? So, in one hand, they could be an ally. On the other hand, do we want them as an ally simply because of their lack of respect? I've had the occasion to talk to a Mexican person who was born in the United States. And if you were born in the United States, you're less likely to be that way. But if you're coming over here from Mexico or Honduras or any, and look, I don't mean to lump you all into the same category, but anyone south of the border, if you come from these places and expect people to welcome you with open arms, behaving in the way that you do, I hate to tell you this, but man, we're going to probably want to run you out of our neighborhoods. And I'm going to start doing so. I don't want to live around people who have no respect for their neighbors. And so I'm going to start running people out of my neighborhood. You might recall a couple of years back, more than a couple of years back, for some of you older subscribers, that my old place where we lived, we had a problem with a cop throwing giant parties. Yeah, a cop. And you might recall that I went out there with my shotgun and chased about 100 people out of my neighborhood, including the cop. So yeah, I have pointed a weapon at a cop and gotten away with it. So if I could do that to an officer, well, God only knows what I'll get away with when I'm pushing people out of my neighborhood. I don't want it to be that way. I don't. But if you're going to be a creep and you're going to be disrespectful and you're not going to integrate into our culture, then we don't have any room for you. We don't. And you deserve to be pushed out of our country. Period. I'm not against people that come over here to, participate in our culture, including the drug culture, because it is an American thing, okay? Yes, people use drugs all around the world, but really America's the top place for it. So if you're not going to participate in our culture, and if you're not going to be respectful when you come here, don't expect us to open you with or welcome you with open arms. It's fucking absurd. Now, I only got 2 videos done yesterday, and the reason is because my neighbor right next door to me sat outside for the entire day, blaring his fucking mariachi music. And it made it so I couldn't get my work done. So there's that. Do I hate other cultures? The answer is no, I don't hate other cultures, but I do dislike disrespectful motherfuckers of all races. If you're a white person and you're behaving like this, you are a shame to our race. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. Anyway, I thought I would rant about this because I've been woke up many, many mornings this month, this year, as a result of disrespectful fucking Mexican neighbors. And I swear, when I moved into this place, the people told us, "Oh, it's quiet," and yeah, right, quiet. I guess, I guess we have different ideas of what fucking quiet is. Anyway, I thought I would rant about this morning. I will be posting more videos here over the course of the day. Probably not all during the morning time. So, till next time, kill the state, live free.